As fans around the world refresh their feeds for answers, one thing stands out more than anything else: HYBE's complete silence. No official photos, no press release, no statement about Jungkook's surprise appearance in Japan, or his unexpected return to Seoul just days later with a high-grade professional camera bag in hand. And the fans are beginning to notice. Is HYBE pulling its usual mystery marketing strategy to build anticipation for a surprise comeback? Or, more worryingly, are they being silent because they don't actually control this narrative anymore? Could Jungkook have acted independently, under the radar, possibly even without HYBE's full knowledge or approval? The eerie quiet from the agency only amplifies fan theories, from a secret solo project with Disney+, to leaked footage they don't want public, to growing internal tension that no PR team dares to confirm. Whatever the reason, HYBE's silence is now louder than any teaser, and it's starting to look less like a plan and more like a covered dash-up. Why the complete radio silence? For an agency as calculated and media-savvy as HYBE, this isn't normal. Every public appearance of a BTS member, especially during or nearing the end of their military service, is usually followed by at least a brief mention, some context, a polite confirmation to satisfy media outlets and fan curiosity alike. But this time, nothing no confirmation about the trip. No denial of rumors. No update on whether Jungkook's movement to and from Japan was personal, professional, or military-related. Just eerie, deliberate silence. And that's where things begin to spiral. Fans aren't just curious anymore, they're nervous. Conspiracy theories are now replacing official updates. What was Jungkook doing in Japan alone, while still technically enlisted? Why was he carrying a highly professional MPB camera bag, the kind used in commercial shoots, not casual vlogging? And why did he return alone, unannounced, only a day after Jimin reportedly flew to Japan from the same airport? The timeline doesn't make sense. Unless, of course, there's something the agency doesn't want us to know. Some fans are now convinced that Jungkook's actions might be unsanctioned by HYBE, that this trip, the camera, the footage he may have shot in Tokyo, are all part of a secret solo mission. Others believe it's part of a confidential project meant to be revealed only after his military discharge. But if that were true, why wouldn't HYBE just confirm the basics to prevent the rumors from growing? This has opened the floodgates to even more daring questions. Is Jungkook preparing for independence? Is this a strategic move to test how much control HYBE really has over his career? Or has the agency lost grip of its biggest star's narrative? One theory going viral on Korean fan forums is that Jungkook is already in post-production for a secret visual project, something raw, self-directed, and deeply personal, possibly touching on his military service, mental state, or even his dissatisfaction with the current management. The footage inside that camera bag could contain moments HYBE isn't ready for the world to see. And maybe Jungkook doesn't want their permission. To make matters more complex, HYBE's silence could also be a strategic decoy, a blackout phase, in marketing designed to fuel speculation, raise stakes, and prepare for a massive reveal. After all, this wouldn't be the first time they used mystery to spark viral momentum. The only problem? This time, the silence doesn't feel like control. It feels like chaos, and fans feel it. Every hour that passes without clarity adds more tension. The question isn't just, what was Jungkook doing? Anymore. It's, why are they hiding it? Every movement a BTS member makes is usually choreographed to perfection. Airport photos, fan service, social media drops, and agency press releases all timed with surgical precision. But this time, Jungkook's surprise visit to Japan on May 24th, followed by an equally sudden return, has no clear narrative, no scheduled performance, no brand event, no military-related context. Just a man with a camera bag and a secret. And that camera bag? It wasn't just any camera bag. Fan analysts were quick to identify it as a high-end MPB camera carrier, typically used by production crews filming for streaming platforms. The exact model spotted is often used in 4K documentary shoots, commercial campaigns, or reality series. This isn't the kind of gear an idol brings for sightseeing. This is professional-grade hardware. And Jungkook was carrying it himself, without staff, That fact alone sent shockwaves through ARMY forums. Jungkook isn't a rookie idol. He knows the eyes of the world are always on him, even in the quiet moments. So, what kind of project is so important, so personal, that he had to carry the equipment himself, under the radar of even his agency? It raises an even deeper question. Was HYBE aware of this trip at all? If this were a sanctioned project, HYBE could have easily issued a vague no comment or a typical private schedule notice to the press. Instead, they've said nothing. That silence now feels less like mystery marketing and more like disconnection. Some fans are even wondering, is Jungkook pushing back against the agency? After years of following strict idol protocols, is this his quiet rebellion? There's precedent in the past. BTS members have shown a growing desire for creative autonomy. From self-produced solo albums to directing their own music videos, the members have gradually stepped into roles once tightly controlled by the agency. But nothing so far has been this independent, this rogue, this hidden. It gets more intriguing when we factor in Jimin, who departed for Japan a day earlier. The same airport, the same terminal, but no confirmation that the two met publicly. Still, fans speculate this was no coincidence. Could Jungkook and Jimin have coordinated a private filming session? Could they be shooting an undisclosed Disney Plus series, or even a self-funded documentary exploring their transition from soldiers back into civilian life? Some fans even believe this is the long-awaited follow-up to Are You Sure?, the Disney Plus travel series Jungkook starred in last year. That show ended with a promise of more journeys to come, a vague but haunting teaser. Is this trip the next chapter? And if so, why the secrecy? Unless, of course, it's something else entirely. What if the contents of that camera bag have nothing to do with a brand or a show, and everything to do with Jungkook's own truth? There's a wild, but emotionally potent theory catching fire online. Jungkook is filming his own goodbye letter. Not from BTS necessarily, but from the version of himself fans thought they knew. After nearly 2 years of military service, isolation, reflection, and emotional growth, maybe this isn't just a content project. Maybe this is him, taking control of his own story before anyone else gets to write it for him. And perhaps that's what HYBE fears the most. Not that Jungkook is filming something, but that he's filming the truth. His truth. Raw, unfiltered, and out of their control. When you think about it, the silence from HYBE could very well be their most desperate move yet. An attempt to stay ahead of a narrative they no longer own. It's no longer about a trip to Japan. It's about what that trip represents to shift. A fracture. A future where BTS is no longer just an agency's golden product, but a group of global artists ready to tell their own stories, without permission. And now, the world waits, not just for a statement from HYBE, but for a leak, a post, a preview, anything from Jungkook that reveals what's really going on behind those closed, quiet doors. Because when the silence breaks, it might not just change BTS's future, it could shatter the way we see K-pop forever. But what if the real secret isn't in the footage? What if what Jungkook brought back from Japan wasn't just on a memory card, but etched in his eyes, hidden in his expression, and buried in his silence? Because fans didn't just notice the camera bag, they noticed him. Airport photos from that day show a Jungkook that looked different. Not unwell, not angry, but distant. There's a certain heaviness in his walk, a disconnect in his gaze, as if his mind was still somewhere else. Perhaps in Tokyo, perhaps in what he left behind. Some armies speculate he met someone in Japan, someone important, someone unexpected, a producer, a loved one, or someone from his past. Nothing is confirmed, but it's worth remembering that Tokyo holds history for Jungkook. Many of BTS's most intimate performances and off-record moments happened in Japan. The fandom also knows Jungkook once said in a V-Live that Japan feels like a place where I can breathe without being watched too closely. Could this quick trip have been about reclaiming a part of himself? Or confronting something unresolved, adding fuel to the fire? A leaked airport manifest, whose authenticity has yet to be confirmed, lists an unregistered passenger sharing Jungkook's flight back to Korea. Theories exploded online. Was this a hidden staff member? A Disney Plus executive? Or perhaps someone whose identity was deliberately kept secret. The implications are massive. Because if Jungkook wasn't traveling alone, if there was a hidden figure involved, then the camera bag could just be the surface. What else came back on that flight? What deal was made behind closed doors? What footage was captured that HYBE may not own and can't erase? And more pressingly, why does Jungkook look like a man carrying the weight of something more than just a camera? This leads to a more emotional layer that fans are now dissecting post by post, frame by frame. The idea that Jungkook is wrestling with his next move.